of the most common questions I get regarding this unusual campervan RV is how did I mount the boxes? Most recently Malik has asked, so I'm going to answer. One time I was inside when I was living in it full time, and I heard a kid walk by and say, "He taped those boxes to the back." No, they're not taped, they're not glued. They won't hold, there's no way they would hold up with tape and glue. And so the secret is, that's pretty much self-explanatory there. Because these boxes are fairly thin aluminum, I'm using a steel reinforcement there. You want to preferably use stainless steel or galvanized. If not, then you'll need to paint it to keep it from rusting. I used primer and then paint for this one to keep it from rusting. So that's a crude installation, and this is already somewhat 5 years old. That's why it's looking kind of raunchy. But so I bolted them on. The tape is more for aesthetic reason and to keep stuff from growing, keep rain out and stuff from growing back there, and possibly animals. I couldn't do much underneath down there due to the angle and all kinds of stuff. But these two I joined with Eternabond, the super thick kind of tape. Painted them to match silver there and white on this side, where you can use white Eternabond tape. I don't think they make it in silver, so I had to paint the white, and so that seals it pretty well, and it also holds it on there pretty well. Actually, you know what, I think if you're not going to put anything much heavy in here, you could mount the boxes with just Eternabond tape. Eternabond. It's kind of expensive tape. It's about $1 a foot, but it's the only stuff that's really going to hold it on there. So with Eternabond, yes, you could do it. I do recommend it for very lightweight applications, but if you're like me and you put heavy things in there like a pressure washer, and at one time I had a generator in here, that's why these holes are sealed up, because they used to be for the generator to vent out. That's where you need to put it on like that. And the good thing about Eternabond is, even though the name says Eterna as for eternity, they're a lot less. It would be a lot less permanent mount than what I did here. Less damage to the door. If you have an older vehicle like mine is, 2007, that probably doesn't matter too much for you. So let's look inside and see how I concealed the install. So I have insulating tape, insulation, foam insulation on the inside that hides where the bolts are fastening on the inside, and the same over here. This is foam insulation for thermal and sound insulation. That's why that's there, and also to hide the ugly bolt coming through. All right, so before you drill, verify on the other side where it's going to come out. And before you drill this size, which I think is 1/4 inch, is about the size bolt you'll want to use. You might want to try a smaller drill bit first, so you can see where the hole is coming out the other side. Symmetry is not that important there on the inside. I think the reason why mine's crooked is because of on the to come through the inside there were beams or something blocking. I can't remember what the reason is, and you can see another bolt right there. You don't have to use a metal plate like I did. You could just use large washers. It should work fine, but this is more secure. And the reason why I have the metal plate on this one is because this one had the heavy generator in it, and well, this one even has a bigger metal plate. This is a metal, you know, this metal plate here is, that came from cutting a hole for the air conditioner. That's what this is from. So you could use that also, so you don't have to waste materials, and it'll be a more solid application there. This one up here, I'm not sure what I did. Oh look, that one's just bolted on without any reinforcement plate, because on top I put the lighter weight stuff like foam or any kind of real lightweight stuff I put up there. And then the air conditioner install is a whole different story. Might as well go over it just real quick. I think I have another video on that. So for the air conditioner, you don't cut the hole out the size of the air conditioner. You cut slits. You cut an X-shaped slit, and then you bend the slits out so that when you insert the air conditioner, you can fold those flaps. I call them slits. They're more like a flap. Fold the flap back over the side, cut it off, cut the pointy part off so it's more flat here and parallel, and then screw it into the air conditioner. Or use Eternabond tape, which I think I would kind of lean more towards the tape. Yeah, because it's not so permanent and you don't have to worry about screwing into the coils or anything like that. But it would possibly still void the warranty due to that tape is, I don't think it'll void the warranty, but doing things like I did probably will. See how I have that screwed in to keep this. This is just for two reasons: to keep it stealthy so it doesn't look so much like an air conditioner, and also to keep damage from happening. So to keep, if you're pressure washing or you back up into a limb, it won't crush that air conditioner part. So that's pretty much how these are installed. This is insulating tape I have here. I think it's butyl tape. So the reason I put that in there is because of the generator, to help try to cut down the generator noise. So the insulation is not as important if you don't mount a generator. And what generator did I fit in there was a Honda EU 2000 watt. So it took all of the space in there, and it was really tricky to get it in and out, because it was it's an extremely tight fit. You can get an EU 2000 in one of these boxes, but it's I don't recommend it. It's just too tight. You might struggle with it. This one down here, I put this box on being more wider and rectangle, because this is where I was putting my levels. I had some short plastic levels, but I don't use those short plastic ones anymore. I use much bigger ones that have to go inside the vehicle because they're so big. So now what I normally use this for is plumbing. Any kind of plumbing stuff I put in here, hoses and that kind of thing. The way I mounted my cell booster here is using butyl tape on the other side and using I don't know what that is, a 1/4 inch self-tapping bolt screw it in there on both sides, on 4 corners there. The solar panels have a custom frame I built, aluminum frame. Since they're the thin flexible panels, they needed that thin aluminum reinforcement so that the wind doesn't tear them off the roof, especially sticking out the back. Plumbing, so this is all because of the pressure washer. I drilled a hole through there. Professionally, I should have a grommet, but I used Eternabond around it because when I was living on the road full time, to get that kind of grommet would have been just too much of a hardship at that time when I needed to just get this thing done. So for now I have Eternabond. I think it's just as good, except it's uglier, and it's good to have a valve right here so that you can isolate working on this area. Yeah, a little pressure washer in here is really nice, so you don't have to go spend money at the car wash and worry about the time running out and all that, getting quarters and tokens and their equipment being faulty or whatever. So a little one like this, you can wash your vehicle on your own if it's hooked up to your freshwater tank like mine is. And it's also great for getting bugs off the windshield, the pressure washer. People wonder, what the heck are these? Are those, did they pull out so I can open up the side? No, these are just steps. These are stainless steel steps. So I can step on the tire, then here, and I can stand up and clean off the solar panels while I'm standing on these instead of using a ladder. This used to be an outside shower. Now it's USB ports I have there for a guest who wants to camp next to me. It's courtesy power. This is freshwater. No, that used to be freshwater intake. Now I have it here, locked in here. So these are just dummies, not used anymore. 30 amp input. Electric vehicle charging station input. I put it in the middle of the vehicle so that I don't have to use such a long cord if depending on whether I'm pulled in frontwards or backwards. The cord length should be about the same each time. Here I'm charging 15 amp because at my house I have to get a permit for 30 amp installation. Once I get the permit, then I'll start charging here instead. In the summertime, I'm needing power because I have to run the air conditioner during the day, except today because we're having a tropical storm coming in, so it's cooling off. But on hot days, the air conditioner runs all day long, and the solar power isn't enough to power it that much, especially when I'm not using the alternator charger to charge the battery, the Tesla module. So this air conditioner uses a lot of power, but it's still a lot more energy efficient than the standard roof mounted air conditioner. And having the air conditioner back here, mounted back here, frees up the roof for more solar charging power. I have this cable going through here to deter theft. So there's a lock back here, combination lock. I think those power washers are maybe about $100 or less. I don't know, forgot how much. These hinges rust, so I tend to sand them and put primer on. This one you can see there's primer on it, maybe. See the gray color instead of silver. Sometimes I'll just use bare primer, and then sometimes I'll use primer and silver paint. Preferably you want to have primer and something paint over the primer. Preferably do it when the box is new, not years down the road when you have to get the rust off. This is a magnet so that when I open the door, a metal plate attached under here, I need to screw it back in because it fell off, so that when I open this door it'll stay up instead of falling down. This Eternabond I used to cover up a lot of blemishes throughout the years. Yeah, the exterior is getting kind of raunchy. I'm going to recondition it when the weather is nicer, probably starting in October. I'll start reconditioning the van. All right, thanks for asking the question, Malik. Hope that answered your question. If not, anyone can leave a comment asking anything else.